who is the biggest creator of jobs in America?
The U.S. government.
Well, I'm talking about the real jobs, not the government jobs, because it's not. It's
people
not real.
that work. Teachers aren't real. Teachers aren't real. Cops are. Can I tell this officer over here that he's not really got a job?
I'll tell you what
He's
I mean.
a government worker.
I'll tell you what I mean by that. But the real jobs. But the real jobs. I don't.
Corporation that produces a product.
Either profit, not necessarily the product, but the profit. Profit is the key. So the government employees, by definition, do not produce the profit.
You're right.
They only exist because of
Except
you
for the IRS.
and you and me.
The IRS creates profit.
The same thing. They get money from you and me and all of us. Okay.
And that's why teachers and firemen get paid shit.
Yep.
So who is the biggest creator of jobs in America?
What kind of company or what company itself?
What type of company?
Wal-Mart is probably the biggest employer.
I would say small businesses, right or wrong?
Oh, small business. Oh, yeah.
Small business,
yeah.
Okay? So I'm one of those small businessmen.
And I admire small businessmen. I admire you for creating a company.
Okay, so now, getting back, since we've established that small businesses are the biggest job producers in America, the biggest employers in America, right? Me being a small businessman and talking about relationship within your company and quote-unquote treating people like shit, it's in my interests to have the company be as much together as possible.
Absolutely.
If I can give a little extra to my guys, if
they respect you, you respect them. If you're loyal to them, they're loyal to you. That's the best business model. That's the best business model.
Yes. So now that we've established that the small businesses are the largest job creators in America, and B, that the relationship in general is pretty darn good between the employers and the employees, then shouldn't we come to the conclusion that, well, actually things are pretty good in this sense in America when it comes to corporate America? Because the company that I have legally is a corporation. As well as, well, I have about, eight employees in my company. So most of small businesses legally are corporations.
By law standard, by the court's eyes.
So what's wrong with corporations then?
Nothing's wrong with corporations because you haven't bought a legislator yet. You haven't gotten big enough to buy a legislator yet. But if I'm going to give a $50,000 contribution to a local congressman and I own a coal company, I'm from Southwest Virginia where there's lots of coal. If I own a coal company and I go up to my local congressman and I go, I'm going to give you 50 grand for your upcoming election. And he goes, okay, thank you for that 50 grand. And then you call him up a week later and say, you know those safety violations they've been looking at? Can you kind of maybe take a look at that for me? And suddenly those safety violations for the workers has been changed. And that is what I talk about corporations buying legislation. You can't afford legislation. You can't afford to buy a congressman.
Look.
Well, if you can, you're doing real good, buddy, with 8 employees.
Look, when you pursue a certain line of business, as a corporation, we are a republic, representative republic, right?
We're a democratic republic, yes.
So, representative republic.
More republic than a democrat, yes.
Representative republic. So the way the system works is that I delegate my authority to the person that I vote for. He's supposed to represent me. Me as an individual.
Should be worth no more than my vote,
me as an individual, as well as me as a corporation.
No.
Let me explain. Hold on. Because we all pursue our interests, our goal, either as a corporation or as an individual, right? So, for instance, I do international business. I do business with Brazil. So what really affects my business is the exchange rate.
Right.
Okay? So,
or tariffs
or tariffs, exactly. Yeah. So, for instance, when Ben Bernanke, in this case, starts printing money, QE1, QE2, now QE3, quantitative easing, which in simple language is just
printing money to try and spur the economy.
So what happens to the dollar? Obviously, the value of the dollar goes down. Yes. So that affects my corporation. In fact, it might actually, I'll give you an example. 4 years ago, the exchange rate between the dollar and the real was 1 to 3, meaning $1 would buy me 3 reais. About half a year ago, the exchange rate was for $1, I would get only 1.5 reais. What does it mean? It means that everything now costs me twice as much. So, as a corporation, don't you think that I have to do something, somehow influence the policies of the government so that they will think about me, about my interest and my business, and, well, maybe stop printing money or printing lesser quantities of money?
And that's why you vote for people that would oppose a QE3. But you don't go out and buy a legislator and give him an extra $20,000 bucks.
Well, I would contribute to whatever.
I would
contribute to the campaign of a representative that represents my interests. And I think that that's normal because they're opposing views. One's trilling, the other one doesn't want trilling. Low currency,
what you're really saying is
small
corporations can buy legislation.
It's not buying; it's contributing, and it works both ways. And
but
the Supreme,
no, it doesn't.
Look, there are some of us
who don't have the money you have to buy a legislator.
Don't own a corporation.
Yeah, but no. Let me explain why. I mean,
because if 10,000 of us give $1 and you give 10,000,
no. Because think about it this way. Let's assume. I mean, I have only 8 employees, okay? But those 8 employees have their own families. Their families buy merchandise. You know, that's how money is spread around in this country.
Right.
So, if let's say people working for me as a corporation, as you perhaps working for some other corporation, if the government policy is such that it will affect the corporation, and as the result, the corporation will have to dissolve because they will not be able to compete, or because, like in my case, the exchange rate becomes such that I stop being competitive. Let's say, you know, the product that I sell is not really going to be purchased by the people because it's not
profitable to you, and it's not worth it for them to buy it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we're talking about. Demand. Go ahead.
So let me finish my train of thought.
Okay, I'm with you.
So that will mean that I will have to dissolve my corporation.
Yep.
When it is a person, you're gonna dissolve a person. You're a murderer.
Can you hold on your comments for a second?
You're a murderer.
So once I dissolve my corporation, I will have to let my 8 employees go.
Is that not true?
So
no, we're discussing buying politics.
He just said the corporation, the person got dissolving.
No, he said if he can't sell his product, he would have to dissolve.
Dissolve a person?
He would dissolve his company.
You're welcome to listen into the conversation. Let me just finish my train of
That's
thought.
Okay, you just said you're going to kill billionaires.
So, yeah, exactly.
I said once.
So, think about this way. I have 8 employees. They're not going to be happy if, you know, I dissolve my... I'm the first one who will not be happy, but, you know...
Going out of business.
This is the situation where I'll find myself because of the government policies. Neither would my 8 employees. What if this corporation consists of thousands or tens of thousands of hundreds of thousands? So the point I'm trying to make is that it's only normal for the corporations to pursue their policies and pursue their interests, not only for their own sake, because if the company goes belly up, so do all its employees.
Okay. I agree with you on what you're saying in principle, but listen to this. You've got the 2 Koch brothers, okay? You familiar with who the Koch brothers are?
Koch brothers, right.
Yeah.
He knows all the billionaires.
Yeah, hobnob with them, sure.
He hangs out with them at the Bohemian Club out in California. He goes to Bilderberg. Yeah. But anyhow, the Koch brothers own oil companies, right? Is what they're made. Their exploration and oil corporations is what they do. Okay.
It's one of the greatest.
Now the problem is that if I want to stop a potentially polluting event that they would want to do with their money, they can spend $400 million to influence legislation. I guess you'd have to get 400 million common everyday people to come up with $1 and send them to somebody to fight the Koch brothers. That's an uphill battle, you know?
They don't have to do that. They corrupted the courts.
Yeah, you're right.
No.
They really corrupted the courts.
Citizens United was a
corporation.
corporation.
Are you for corporations controlling the government?
It's gonna happen no matter what. They're not controlling.
Are you for it
They
or
are.
against it? That's what I'm asking.
It's the natural. Are you for natural selection or are you not?
Oh, you believe in evolution?
Listen,
Well, of course,
Listen.
of course,
That's
evolution.
not
Of course.
He's not a right-wing Christian.
Wait a
Okay,
second.
right-wing
He's
Christians
saying
don't believe in
no.
evolution.
Of course I believe in
That's
evolution.
not natural selection.
That's survival of the fittest.
Well,
Same
it
thing.
is.
not
It is.
natural
Yes,
selection.
it is
No,
a
it's
natural.
not.
Yes, it is a natural
No, it's
selection.
not natural
Yes, it is.
selection. That's corruption.
Is
Corruption is not natural selection.
Koch or Koch? Why do you call them Koch? I think they're Koch brothers or whatever. Koch brothers.
brothers. You know
Koch
exactly
brothers.
who they are.
So
What's their first name basis?
they're
Don't be lying to them.
they're the Republicans. Okay.
They fund the Tea
No,
Party.
Now-
they're not
The Tea Party.
Republicans. They're not necessarily Republicans. They
Well,
are
but they are.
self-interested people
They're not
who buy
Republicans,
But
politics.
they're
fascists.
helping Republicans.
They're not
Now,
Republicans, they're
so
fascists.
please,
Corporate control
if
of
you want to
government
be
is
part of
fascism.
conversation, you're welcome.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
All right, as a
No,
Republican,
we're-
why are you defending?
I am a Republican.
You're
So
a fascist if you believe in corporations
So-
control the country.
So they're the Republicans, so they support the Republicans. Now, Warren Buffett, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, and what's this guy's name? The Hungarian guy who is behind MoveOn.org.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Soros, George Soros. You know, they're top 10 richest or so top 10 richest people in the world. As you can see, speaking of natural selection, some of them are on the right, some of them are on the left.
Yep.
So.
Natural selection.
Some of them inherited it. That's not natural selection.
Well, some inherited,
understand the
but
definition of the word.
The Waltons. The
we are in
Waltons.
New York City right now, right? Do you know what's located on the 57th Street?
No, I'm from Virginia. I don't-
Ah, you're from Virginia, but we on the 57th Street we have Carnegie Hall, just to give one example.
Yes, Andrew Carnegie.
Yeah, and who was he?
He was a billionaire steel maker and railroad builder.
Okay, well, I meant he was super rich.
He was
Baron,
super rich.
Okay,
And he did a lot of good things with it, and he treated his employees like shit.
look.
He did.
Look.
He did.
Look, we were talking about way back.
there
It was a
one
different
point that he
age.
convinced you about
Things
now
have
that you
changed
changed your mind
dramatically.
about?
We're not static.
there
We're
one?
moving forward. Not that I'm quoting Obama's forward. And by the way, that was the favorite socialist, me coming from Russia.
Yep.
Forward was the motto of all the socialists / communists. In reality, all of them were dictators, obviously, you know. So the point I'm trying to make is that, see, when I came to this country, I came here with $100. That's all that I had. Okay?
And you made your money in this country. Now you don't want to pay taxes, and you want to use that
No.
money to control the government.
No.
Is that what you're saying?
No.
Let him
Thank you
finish,
very
let him
much for
finish.
coming to America.
What I'm trying to say
I can't
is,
wait to kick you the hell out.
and
This is a
what's
revolution, my friend. I'm sorry,
I know.
but these are not. This is no. I understand, but I want. I know you understand.
Yeah.
This is not what he's equating is us being enslaved to them.
And what I'm trying to do is to find a middle ground.
No, they're not going to want to give up power.
No.
If you think you can talk the Koch brothers out of giving up power,
This is not the Koch brothers.
You guys got copies of Title, Occupy Theory's new journal?
he believes in the same mentality. You need this more than I do.
no, I don't.
He won't read it.
You're welcome. We've got plenty.
He might light his cigars with it.
So the point I'm trying to make,
Thank you.
the point I'm trying to make, is that the funny thing happens as you acquire wealth.